Alright, so this is a review of Lucio on Nepal. And I guess I went through this video real quick before this review, and I just noticed that like a lot of times you're not really using your cooldowns effectively, and sometimes it just seems like you completely forget that you have them. So that's like one thing to definitely work on is just get the maximum value out of what you have. And like that I think will take you really far just by itself. And I think um, in order to do that, like you focus on shooting a lot, or like it just seems like you're like trying to DPS too much. Like this stuff gets more value than DPS. Like ideally you want to have both, but use your cooldowns first, and like and then like do the damage second. It's a trap that a lot of Zen players also fall into, I think, in that they like they kind of put Discord on someone, or they put Harmony on someone, and then they just leave it there and they never think about it again, and they're just focused on shooting. But like Zen shooting by himself isn't enough. Like you need everything to like happen. You need the discords on the right targets. You need to be calling it out. You have to harmony the right targets and enable your team the right way by harmonying the right targets. Otherwise, like DPS is like kind of the frosting on the cake. You need to have a cake first before you add that frosting. Um, and then I guess let's talk about the team comp real quick. So this is like a very meta team comp, but you guys don't really play it the way it's supposed to be played. Um, so this is a brawl comp, and you really want to like be stacked together and like kind of play it like goats, or kind of play it uh like Arista Sigma, Mora Lucio was in the prior meta with shields, where you stay tight, you like pick you like take point space, and then force them to come to you, and then once they do, you pick one target and you all go on them. Or you look for a wall, and then whoever gets wall, you all go on them. Or Ursa looks for a pull, and then whoever gets pulled out of position, you go on them. Or there has to be some kind of trigger or target prioritization. Um, but you guys are just kind of all scattered all over the place, which this is I think you said you were a gold player, so that kind of makes sense. But it does seem like your comms are really pretty good, like team wide, and I feel like kind of you have the right idea. It's just that little bit of execution that needs to happen for like the team as a whole. Um, okay, and like you wouldn't know their comp obviously rolling out, but their comp is actually, if they play it right, it's actually pretty good against you guys, because they can basically give you space on the point and then just spam you, burn all your resources and then commit, because it's pretty hard for your DPS to contest their DPS, and these guys can all like play long range. I mean, Ryan won't get as much value, but he can throw in the fire strike and just like wait until someone gets low or something, and then they can all go in. But so like you guys are at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but it's not something that you shouldn't be able to overcome. Okay, so let's start playing this.
All right, let's see this, guys.
Okay, and one thing right out the gate, so maybe it's not so important if you guys are six stack. I'm not sure. It does seem like you guys are like definitely pretty coordinated. Um, but definitely in like ranked or quick play, like solo queue, I would absolutely look behind me right now and just check and see if anyone like got left behind. Because sometimes like someone went to get a cup of water or something, and you as Lucio, you can help them catch up. Um, so you see the May, Reaper, and Rhine in front of you, but you don't really know where these two are, and they're very important. So it's like a little thing that you can do for free. Like it costs you nothing to spin around, look behind you, and just make sure that everyone's like right there, right behind you. Um, yeah. Well, I guess you can also look at the counter here, and you do have 5 people in Aura, so that is a good sign that you all probably are together for the most part. The other thing is like in comms, like when you're rolling out, before the door opens, even like you should be making a plan on where you're going. And I think like with this comp, it should be fairly obvious, but it never hurts. Like again, it's free. It never hurts. It can only help you to like say, okay, we're all running to point. Like we're all going main straight to point. Because there are situations where you might want to go high ground right here. You probably never go left, but like going right and to the high ground and then rolling out like that way is like it's potentially an option, especially later on after this initial neutral fight. So yeah, just make sure you come and make sure you check where your team's position. Okay, and then like part of the reason why is like here when you come out, so you do those 2 quick wall rides. Okay, I guess you still have 5 people in your aura, so they're right at choke. But like you can definitely like accidentally lose people that way, and then you end up like people that are in your aura end up running faster, and you leave someone behind. And if it's like a Orisa, for example, then that can be pretty bad. But okay, you do have the 5 here.
Watch out for Junker spam. Okay, they're running Farah. We might run.
Okay, and you're low already here. Like yes, your BAP should be healing you, but he also has to deal with this. So just don't. Your like team's already on point. Speed is good, but when people are missing health, heal is better. But I mean, okay, so I do like that you're kind of defaulting to speed, but you have to be if you default to speed, you have to be aware that like when you're missing health, when people have started taking damage, you should swap to heals until they're back up, and then you swap back to speed.
Okay, I'm gonna pull over, so I'm pulling.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't die here. Like, the rockets are coming from left. But I don't know. That's one of those things. Like she's getting damage boosted. It's a 2-shot. Like it happens sometimes. But you saw the rockets coming from left, so you should be kind of aware. And like you can be wall riding on these pillars, for example, like up in the air, so that the Fair can only aim at you or your team, not both at the same time. Or just like sitting more spread. And then again, if you had healed yourself, that initial poke damage, like yeah, sure, maybe Baptiste could have also healed you there, but like if you absolutely had control over your own heals, so you could have healed yourself and you probably wouldn't have died. Like it probably would have taken one more rocket.
Okay, they're running Farah. We might run.
You see the rockets coming in here.
Okay, I'm gonna pull over.
And you keep walking forward. You're still. Oh, you just swapped to heal now, and then you get hit with a second rocket immediately.
So I'm pulling.
So just more
on the runner.
No. And then yeah, so like they're just spamming you guys from range. They get a wipe here.
And this is a reset.
Yeah, reset. Just die on point.
I'm stopping McCree.
So I'm not sure if you're trying to like get out there to like maybe try to speed these guys out. That's not a terrible idea. I think they're gonna die before you can get anywhere close. You should. So I kind of feel like you should just wait and spawn and wait. Wait for the full reset. Like, there is a world in which the Pharah, like, if these guys are dead, the Pharah can like peek up here and like shoot you with rockets. So I know it like seems safe here, but when your entire team still needs to spawn, there's no reason to be here.
Yep. Yeah, we need to swap McCree.
Actually, I'm gonna swap
like
Widow
instead. You should still be
Widow,
waiting
okay.
for.
Alrighty.
Nope, you left here, so.
I'm gonna boost as soon as our Ryan comes out. Boosting now.
Okay, and so I guess actually in this situation, so at the very start, you always boost out of spawn on control because you're gonna get amp back basically like before the real fight happens. But here you actually want to use amp to after the first neutral fight, you want to use amp in order to help your team engage. So this amp basically moved your team up so that you can like start walking in 3 seconds faster. But instead, if you had held it, you could use it so that when you get here, you can get from the space, like this point where the Fair can start shooting you, onto point like in half the time instead. So instead of like speeding from like point or from spawn to here, where it speeds you up but it doesn't like there's no way that you're benefiting from it other than the time savings. From here to here, you would still get the same amount of like time savings, but have much less risk up to your whole team while crossing this open area. And what it would cost you is like 3 or 4 seconds on your cooldown, but that's definitely worth it. And then in terms of pathing, like you don't really want to go main here, like because it's such open space. If you go top right into the room to the right side here, then there's just more cover, and then you're closer, and then from top right you can actually speed and get into point, rather than if you go from here and you had speed, you speed and you get to like the top of the stairs or something, not quite fully onto point. So yeah, something to be aware
let's
of.
push up here.
As Lucio, especially, I think it's very important for you to kind of contribute to calling pathing, because you're gonna know when you have amp, and like you're gonna know like the distances you can cross using it.
They have a shield super.
I'm gonna pull.
Right. So like from here,
I'm gonna pull.
from here to there, you could like if you amped that, like you could be there like not instantly, but like really quick, versus like just kind of like walking in and letting them burn your shields while you're walking in.
Right now, I'm gonna pull.
Watch the Junkrat.
Okay, so was that damage just from the mine or from the grenade?
Let's push up here.
So, okay. But you did swap the heal this time, so
They have a shield super.
I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna pull right now. I'm gonna pull.
Okay, so you didn't know he was there. Kind of a lucky grenade. That's fine. And you swapped to heals this time, which is I like this a lot better. And then like once people are more topped off, then swap back to speed. You do want to keep an eye out, like again, like kind of like turn around sometimes, and check your Baptiste, because like up to this point, there's no way you're gonna know he took damage, right? But like he can't really heal himself other than his like shift, which is like a 12 second cooldown. So if you can help him out by like paying attention every once in a while and like healing this up, then he can save that cooldown to like benefit the team.
Watch the Junkrat.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Top right. Okay. Fortify. New shield.
Down.
Okay.
So now like you can kind of notice that your tanks are full, right? And now is the time where you can stop the speed and amp. They're down 1, so you guys can absolutely roll them over. So like you just have to be kind of paying attention to like when heal is not useful anymore, and then swapping to speed, and then being aware that you have amp and using it effectively. So let's watch this back a little bit. This is
the Junkrat.
You took the
Junkrat.
mine.
Yeah, where's he at? Where's he at? Top right. Okay.
Okay, so you're saving out. You're full. If you saw that your tanks are full, if you looked around a little bit more, maybe you could see that your May is also full. Soft speed, yeah.
Fortify. New shield.
Down.
Okay, I'm pulling. Double.
So no reason to be on healing right now. Like there was a May wall up. You have both shields up in front. There's not that much that like you guys aren't really going to be taking spam, and on your screen you can see that not everyone's like most people are pretty full. Your May went on a flank left. You could have swapped speed to help her with that, and that could also be like I don't know if you burn amp just for May, but just being on speed helps her like do a lot more as well. Maybe helps her rotate around the Rissa to get onto their other support or something like that. And then or like if you don't want to help the May, you can also still help your tanks and just yell like, hey, let's speed in, like they're down 1, let's go. Go to speed and just amp, and your tank should run over theirs.
Left side, far left side, far left side.
Far left side.
Okay, so you did swap to speed slightly there, but yeah, again, just kind of try to pay attention to health. Your tanks are going in like, yeah, I don't know, just
nice. Boosting this.
Keep it more appropriate situation.
Baptiste spot.
Okay, I'm not sure if your Rhine charged over here. It was kind of a weird play, but yeah, I don't know. So when someone's like really low like this, um, your heal probably isn't gonna save them. Like if someone like walks through his shield, he's gonna die. Like they're like the heal that the amount of heal you can do in a short amount of time isn't gonna be enough to save him. So in this situation, actually being on speed is better. You can help him retreat to safety like faster, or retreat into the Baptiste sideline a little bit faster. But I think this part of
Give our.
I'm still on point. I'm still contesting. Farah's on point with Mercy.
But like you going over there to help them, like while I kind of agree with that, like you just kind of completely ignored like the people that were on point already.
What's that?
So let's go back a little bit. Okay, so let's kind of figure out what happened here. Okay. So, okay, you're a little bit low. The maze low. You're healing. That's great. You're right now at this moment. You're actually behind the shield, and your heals don't go through shield. So you're not actually healing the Mei right now. You can step through, and you have this your shield right here. And you can play this cover as well. But that's like a very minor point. I think you just step through it.
Nice.
Yep. And then you amp heal. That's great. Oh, the Ryan probably pinned your Ryan.
Boosting this.
Okay, I like that call. Like you can actually be a little bit more specific by saying like amping heals, because they might not know like if you're on speed or on heal, and those two things can mean very different things. Like if you say amping speed, that kind of gives a signal like everyone should hard commit. You're saying amping heals, that it's a little bit more like, oh, let's be defensive, let's heal up, and then let's go. Yeah, so I guess their Rhine must have charged your Rhine, and then that's why you turned. But it was a little bit confused earlier. I'm like, these two people are here. You just kind of completely ignore them, right? But
Far left side.
Nice. Boosting this.
okay, yeah, the Rhine charge. Okay. Okay. I think in that case, so if you're gonna go peel, you should be kind of yelling like Rhine charge, let's go, or like go on Rhine, and then your whole team can go follow up. Because I think it ends up like that.
Baptiste proc.
It ends up just being you and Mei.
Give our.
I'm still on point. I'm still contesting. Farah's on point with Mercy.
I don't think you had the Inga there, but if you like booped Orisa down, I liked when you booped the Baptiste and just like kind of took, because that takes him out of the fight for a few seconds. You could have maybe done the same thing to Orisa here, although she had her shield up. You would have had to walk through it.
I'm still on point. I'm still
If you like swap the speed here, because your Ryan was low, but he died anyway.
contesting. Farah's on point with Mercy.
Okay, yeah, you didn't actually.
Orisa has no golden.
There. So as soon as Orisa fortifies, she's no longer the main target because she's basically impossible to kill unless like your whole team is there. And there are a lot of other targets that you can be helping out with. So as soon as Orisa is gold, you completely ignore her. You can say, I don't know if that was you on the call out. You can definitely say like, okay, Orisa used fortify. That's a good call out so that your team knows like 4 seconds from now we can go on the Orisa. But like while she's fortified, especially when she has like a lot of armor left, there's like absolutely no way you can kill her.
Orisa.
So there, like you could have been peeling the Rhine, you could have been looking for the Pharah, you could have like I don't know, like maybe there are people on your Baptiste, you can be helping him out, or just like speeding the team around, or like looking for boops. The time you're spending shooting the Orisa is like completely like not useful.
It's a half. Farah dead.
Nice. Lamp first. Okay. Orisa next. The Baptiste is
down 2.
And so at this point in the fight, like you just kind of you've kind of lost focus of like what you need to be doing and like where your team is and what they're trying to do, and you're just kind of ending up like shooting like whoever's on your screen, you're like shooting at them. So like the Orisa, now the Bap, like yes, the Immortality and the Baptiste are like high value targets, but if you're the only one shooting at them, they're not going to die. So then those shots are kind of wasted. And in a way, it's like on your whole team to be calling like what they're on. Like someone has to call a target. But like that could also be you, like saying, okay, like shoot Baptiste or shoot Immortality, whatever. Or I think you did say Kilimo, but just like the team altogether needs to be focused on like something rather than everyone kind of doing their own thing. And like especially in solo queue, you don't always have that level of control. Like sometimes people are in voice or people just don't listen. But you like individually can at least make the choice of like, okay, I'm gonna pick someone else and I'm gonna shoot what they're shooting rather than like picking my own target. And just having that awareness, I think, is like that it helps a lot. Okay, so
Down 2.
everyone's kind of doing their own thing now.
They
like you're not healing anyone. Like you're well, aside from yourself, you're not like really running around much. You're not looking for boops. You're just kind of trying to. You're just kind of like spinning around everywhere, like doing whatever immediately comes to mind rather than making a plan and kind of doing the best thing. So yeah, like maybe instead of spending time with the BAP, you could have been like over here, maybe on these pillars, or just like retreated behind your backline or your Rhine and your front line here, and been like booping people off of him or booping people into him, so that these two people can kill them, stuff like that.
They are also
Down 3. Okay, we traded.
And you have amp. You've had amp for quite a while, I think. And I think being on heal is fine.
2. We're down 2.
They are also
Down 3.
Okay. Okay, you just got it back. Being on heal is totally fine here. But I would amp this.
Okay, we traded. We have numbers. We have numbers.
The Orisa.
We have numbers. Just heal the tanks. Heal the tanks.
The Orisa 1. Nice.
But still,
Your Baptiste is back.
yeah, if you had a little bit more health, you probably don't
5
die there.
seconds.
And your Rhine would have more health to not die there as well.
Just the junk. Just the junk.
No, we have numbers in the tire.
Yeah, so their spawns get back.
Alright,
and because
there's a reset.
you guys were
ABM
so
back
low,
up.
then they cleaned up. Okay, you're holding amp here.
They wasted
this.
tire.
Hopefully you kind of say, okay, let's speed to point, and then when you guys come out here, you speed. Again, the top right rollout is still a little bit better, just because it has more cover into their comp that is trying to spam.
Okay, we've got beat, blizzard, window.
I'm not sure if that's you calling your ults out. I really like that. That kind of helps everyone else be aware of what the ults are. Because a lot of people don't hit tab, so they just won't know. But then, in addition to just like calling what the ults are, you also need to make a plan with those. So let's like one plan could be like, okay, let's speed to point, and blizzard, and then I'll drop beat if we are taking too much damage. Or another plan could be like, okay, let's go left to elephant, or coast, or like whatever you call the left side there, and then window. And then you can like spam window through onto point. Or it could be like, all right, let's play for bongo and whatever. Like play slow and build bongo and then go, or something like that. But just like doesn't matter as much like what the exact plan is. Just like make sure you make a plan rather than saying, okay, here's what we have, but then everyone doesn't necessarily know what's going to be used, and you either end up like over ulting and using all of them, or under ulting and losing the fight.
Yeah. What are they gonna have here? What do they have?
They use
Shatter?
They don't use tire. They probably have shatter. Maybe
They probably have shadow. They probably have bongo.
That's really good. So then, aside from that information, you can also make a plan on like what you're going to do about that. So you can say, for example, okay, I'm going to hold beat for shatter, or I'm going to hold beat for bongo, or I'm going to, whatever. And then you can maybe have like, okay, Baptiste play further back, so you could immortality if they shatter. Stuff like that.
Yeah, pulling right now, pulling. They use window.
Okay, so So you
Oh,
held
they
amp
probably have
this whole-
bongo?
or you held amp this whole time while you guys were walking in. And then when you did use it, I guess you were trying to amp heals because of the window, but you actually ended up amping speed. And I think that was actually the right call in that if you get through the window, then it's useless. But your whole team has to be on the same page, and I think you also have to be kind of like expecting it. So they use window, you can amp speed and just yell like, go through it, go through it. And you can also like pop beat. You guys didn't, I guess you guys didn't know, like I think you had discussed they have Shatter and Bongo. I don't know if you mentioned that or I don't know if you knew that they had a window. But you know, just playing like cover a little bit better. You can be up on the walls. You should have had time to react and use this basically. And it's last fight, so it's not like kiting isn't really a good option at this percentage. Like I think if this were like 70 or something, then like get out of the way, like LOS it. I think that's fine. But you know, this is like absolutely last fight. Like if you let them just pressure you guys out with the window, like it's gonna be really hard to recontest.
Yeah, pulling right now, pulling.
So like right when you guys got to here, it should be a speed amp, and you run into them. I think like if you had just done that, they wouldn't really have time.
They use window. Back up. Okay, we gotta touch.
Okay, so yeah, they just gotta clean up after that.
Oof, that Farah's right there.
I'm beating this.
That's gonna be it. We can take this. We can take this next one here.
Okay. So in between points, like you can definitely discuss team comps. May Reaper actually works a lot better on this point than it does on the previous point. It's not bad on the previous point, but like this one, because it's like a hut with 2 doors. It makes it really hard for Fair to like spam it. Because you can block off one side with Run Shield and you can block off the other side with Maywall. So the comp that you were running last point like is really effective on this point, like even more so than before. Yeah.
Are they still gonna run the Farah here?
Yeah, I'm gonna say McCree.
Okay.
So Widow wasn't a smart pick. I wasn't getting the value I needed out of it.
Okay, and again, kind of like last point. You know, before the door opens, you as Lucio should be kind of calling what path to take. So there's 2 options here. You can go top right. You can go main, and then like play like behind the point, and just kind of like wait till it unlocks, and then like brawl on point. So with the comp that you have, especially with the Mei, you mainly want to be on point. Like you want to take the fight on point, or and if they're not there, you want to just like take point and force them to come to you. Because you have a lot harder time like poking. You have McCree, but that's the only one that like really wants to poke long range. So I think in this situation, you should be saying like, okay, I'm gonna speed everyone main. Let's play point. Because a lot of times people roll top right here, which is
All right. Let's push high ground here. Push high ground.
High ground, okay.
But not not as much the one you're playing.
Yep.
Okay, so you did say let's push.
Let them. We have positional advantage.
You don't.
Just
if they're playing main, they're gonna have.
Okay, so I agree and disagree with the positional advantage thing. So your advantage here is that you have high ground, so you can shoot them a lot easier than they can shoot you. Their advantage is that they're on point, so you're gonna have to drop to them eventually. But there are 15 seconds here, so you can use those 15 seconds to spam shields as much as possible. And then basically you can use your Arista shields, but try to like keep your Rhine shield health up. And then like try to do as much damage to their Rhine shield as possible, and then once like once point unlocks, you guys do need to drop and like kind of try to rush them. I'm not sure if you've seen their Mei yet, but basically when you do go in, you have to be careful of their Mei wall. So either you have to wall their team first, or you guys need to be kind of playing this corner and then speed in together. Okay, so let's see how this goes.
Advantage.
Yeah, they have Mei.
Back
Lucio.
point.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm gonna pull on. I'm pulling.
Not sure why she's over there. Like pulling and then walling would also be really good. But your Mei's in Narnia, so she can't actually wall. I'm not sure if you're looking to speed to the other side. That's actually not a bad plan, but it would have to be communicated to the team. It's like, let's go top, drop behind them, and then like, you know, they say okay, and then you just amp speed, get behind them, and drop on them, and their team definitely won't be expecting that. Yeah, okay. And then but like the default here is you actually just all play here behind the Ursa shield, spam them, and then once it unlocks, then you drop and go.
Across the bridge here.
Hey, heals.
Oh, I fucking fell. Shit. I might die
On
here.
you, Ink. Ink, we go across the bridge. We go behind.
Okay, so you did calm the plan, but it's too late because they all already dropped. And you know, it's gonna take like a second or two for everyone to like figure out what you're saying. So you just need to communicate this a lot earlier. Like it, I feel like it's kind of clear that like when you came over here, that's what you wanted, but you didn't say it. Like when you came over here, like that definitely would have been plenty of time, and like I think you guys would have done it. You just have to like once you think of the plan, like just say it, and then people can say yes or no. Okay, but they already dropped, so you need to drop as well, and you need to be like probably using amp to get them through the doorway so they don't get walled.
I'm gonna pull. I'm ready to pull. I'm pulling.
Oh wait, okay, your team's here, but your tank's dropped.
I'm pulling.
Across the bridge here.
Hey, heals.
Oh, I fucking fell. Shit. I might die
On
here.
you, Ink.
Tanks, yeah, your Ryan dropped right there.
Fell.
Was your
Shit.
Ursa still high ground? I guess it was your Mei that fell. No, Bep's here.
Die here.
On you, Ink.
Yeah, Ursa's already down. Yeah, so Ursa's already down there. You guys just have to drop. There's
Ink, we go across the bridge. We go behind.
I'm gonna pull. I'm ready to pull. I'm pulling. I'm pulling.
On the ground floor. You guys are high and no one else is up
Just so you know, your guys are split. It'll be a little difficult for me to heal.
Alright, we need to push with team.
Okay, but this is good actually because they wasted wall. You guys are back together. You can look for an amp or speed, like an amp, and like look for a wall. And that's something you can call for. Like, okay, let's try to wall them. I'm gonna speed us in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ursa has no golden.
They got
Yeah, never charge like that. I'm not sure. I still haven't seen your team's wall. Maybe it went up while you were up top, but
sim turrets in this room.
I can use it.
Ryan, I'm giving you.
Turrets in the room.
There it is.
Gotcha.
Sim turrets.
Engage on.
I feel like being on heal this whole time is fine. You still haven't used amp yet, so you know just be aware of your cooldowns. You are using boost.
On the Mei. Alright, this is lost. Push out. You have speed to get out.
Okay, good.
Help me, kill.
Just he wasn't in the speed when you speeded, so that's why he kind of got left behind. To be fair, he wasn't really looking to get out at that point, but like, it's kind of on you to like pay attention to where your team is and make sure that they get in.
This is lost. Push out.
So you saw him far right side. Yeah. So just like stay an extra like second or second and a half and help him make this crossing.
Push out. You have speed to get out.
Yeah, like he sped those two, but he didn't get the speed. So
Help me, I'm body blocking.
Oh god.
Just hold on. Just
yeah. So like I think in this fight, like it seems like once after that speed out, you were kind of like swapping auras more. You just have to like do that more consistently, and like being on the right aura is more important than shooting. You can still like left click, just like don't worry about aiming it as much. Just spam in their general direction. Put your focus more on this until you have it where it's kind of second nature to you. Then you can focus more on aiming.
You got sim turrets all in that room.
Your
like,
job, yes,
I
is
said it 3
Yeah,
times.
Ryan, that is your job to deal with them. So you gotta swing openly.
Yeah, I'll give you more
But
time next time.
support,
Well,
you have
going
to support
but I
her
died
when
So
she's
at this
doing
point,
that.
like, I guess your whole team's here, so rolling out here is fine. Again, top is still an option. Like, I wouldn't say either one is like necessarily better. But if you always go out the same way, it's gonna be predictable, and they're gonna be able to. It's gonna be easier for them to counter. So you know, just keep in mind that top's also an option.
Okay, I'm gonna pull her. I'm gonna pull Ryan. I'm gonna pull left side. You ready? Okay, pulling.
I guess you're looking for pull fire strikes. That is definitely the way that this is played. But you know, I don't know. It's like kind of a far distance for it to work. It's kind of hard like to get the timing right at that distance. It's a little bit easier if you get a little bit closer. Like if you guys had sped in like I, if you guys had like sped in closer and then played one of the corners and then like the teams are kind of face to face but just have the wall between them, then it's a lot easier to like pull fire strike. And so this window you're kind of getting caught out in the open here. I guess you weren't really expecting it, like because you're looking at the pull right or pull left, but you should never really be ahead of your team, ahead of your tanks like that. You're made to a good wall and saves you, but like you need to be behind the Orisa or behind the Rhine, kind of all the time. There's no reason for you to be the one crossing open space. Like your Ursa got a little bit ahead, but just play with your Rhine. It's like less risky. There's not really any benefit to like being there first as Lucio.
Hey, go left.
Okay, go.
Yeah, speed.
Go.
Speed to go
New
left.
shield in 5. New shield in 5.
Okay, so I guess like okay, when did it come off cooldown? Did you just like pop it off cooldown? Like the timing there, like the time to use it, which is cross here, is better. And then like once your team has already crossed, you're now in a safe position over here. And the reason to use it would be to go into them. So you kind of like instead of like your team transitioning without speed and then being ready and then you speeding them in, what you did was kind of like your team transitioned, they were almost done transitioning, and then you said, oh, let's use speed, and you popped it, and then by the time that was kind of communicated, there wasn't enough time to use it to get in anymore. So just like it either has to be earlier or it needs to be a little bit later, I guess.
Hey, go left.
Okay, go.
Yeah, and I guess everyone else was kind of a little bit slow to react to the wall. Like they should have just started walking. But see how like you guys you're kind of already here, and then you amp. Like once the wall went up and everyone like you should just hold this like the extra 2 seconds, and then use it from here to get in, right? Like you'll like this is the space you're crossing right now is like. Yes, you're getting the speed again, but you're not getting other benefits. Like you're not avoiding damage. Whereas from here to get in, you're both like cutting time and avoiding damage by cutting the time that they're able to shoot you.
Speed to go
New
left.
shield in 5. New shield in 5. Maze wall, main wall. I'm pulling Ryan. I'm pulling.
Who's that, Ryan? I'll give you immortality. Go aggressive. I'll give you
Some turret's
immortality.
dead.
That's a really good call, actually. Like go aggressive. I'll use ammo. I mean, you know, your tanks have to go in ahead of you. You can't be the front line, but like that's a call that should be listened to for sure.
Oh, your wrist is low.
2 seconds to boost. 2 seconds to boost. Boosting this.
Nicely.
Okay. The sound might be slightly off sync, I guess. Because you said 2 seconds to boost, but you were using it like in the video at least. But that's a good call out as well. I really like that. They hit a high noon, or no? Oh, you guys hit a high noon. I guess you flanked left. Okay, so
Nice, 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 nice,
We're even.
okay, so now you're kind of frontlining again. Like, Lucio can play a flanky playstyle where you go like on the flank behind them, and the way you would execute that is basically like
nice.
one trigger is that like you've already used amp, so you don't have like as much value to your team anymore, and these two kills happened, so you guys are up and you're just cleaning up. So at this point, what you could do is like turn, ride this wall on the outside to get behind them faster, and then you can flank and like shoot from there. You can play the corner, you can come in a little bit, and then if they turn, you back out the corner again. Because that way, like either they take damage from your team or they take damage from you. And you can also do things like walk in and boop them back into your team if they're trying to back out. And that just kind of ensures kills and like you're getting value that way. But if you flank, if you play like you try to play inside them from this side, you're walking in plain view. So like they should all just like shoot you and you're gonna die. There is a lamp here, but it's on this corner outside. Once you go past this line, you're not in the lamp LOS anymore, so you're not immune. So like if you're gonna go this way, you have to play behind your tanks. You have to let them walk in first, and then go in behind them. If you want to play the style that you're gonna like try to DPS and flank and like get kills, you need to go outside so that they don't see you, and then you'll get a lot more value that way. So.
We're even.
So as soon as the lamp goes down, like just lamp's first priority for sure. I think you guys do kill.
Ball going.
Lamp first, nice. You get the sim, get the
Sim.
Sim by charge.
So this boop is actually not good. Basically, there's like two ways to use boop, offensively and defensively. In this situation, like you guys are up a lot, so you just want to kill them. But the way that you booped was away from your team, and she has a wall, so it makes it easier for her to like shield dance. So if you boop her away, your boop does 25 damage. It's really not that much. Like if you can kill someone with boop, sure, boop them. Otherwise, don't use it for damage. Only use it for utility. You boop her away, it makes it harder for your team to shoot her, and it makes her safer because her beam is like longer than the distance you booped her. If this was like a Reaper or something, or like a Rhine, and they were like really threatening to your team, then absolutely I think that boop makes sense. Like put them farther away so that they're out of their effective range. But if you're gonna boop this Symmetra here, it should be really only one of two things. One is if you get behind her and boop her into your team to make her easier to kill, or two is if she's like really low and you just want to boop like burst her. So then you can like boop and melee, and that'll deal like 55 damage total, or just boop by itself only does 25.
Get the sim.
So here you can wall ride this, get behind them and boop them in. Like just like another step left, whatever your jump key is. Get this corner, boop in.
Sim.
Sim by charge. Boosting this.
I really like the speed as well, because basically with Sim you want to get your whole team on top of her. I think it just came off cooldown, so
Sim, get the
fine timing.
Sim, get the
Sim.
Sim by charge. Boosting this.
Reloading. Get the turret.
And then again, boosting this, it's better to say what you're boosting. So amping heals or amping speed.
Nice, Ink. Good job. Good take here.
Alright, let's set up Ink on the high ground. The rest of us take choke.
Okay.
Actually, the better default is for everyone to go high ground, because you can always, like, if you need to play here, you can always drop. And again, you guys like to go main a lot, but there are two equally valid options, like here or up top. So if everyone plays high ground, if they come main, you call it out, and everyone can still drop and meet them. If they go top, then you're in good position. If you play down here by default, if they come here, then you're already in position. But if they go top, you're kind of screwed, and you have to play point. Which I guess like it's not that bad actually, honestly, like because of what your team comp is. But just being top gives you more options because you can, if you play top, you can meet both. If you play bottom, you can only meet the bottom. And so like going top doesn't really cost you anything, and it can't really hurt you unless you're slow to rotate. But I feel like you guys have pretty good comms, and that shouldn't be a problem. So just always hold top, unless you're hard holding point. So which is
All right,
also
which way are they coming from?
It should be.
They're going main. They're going main.
Yeah, they're coming. All right, I'm gonna pull here. I'm gonna pull here as soon as I get here. I don't know where they're at. They're probably right side. I'm thinking.
So one other thing you can do as Lucio is to scout. So you can go through this this doorway, and there's like that bridge high ground. And if you set up there early, like right after the fight was won, you can stay up there and just like hold on the corner, and just sit there and like look at where they're coming. And then as soon as like you see them, you call that out, and then you back off, or you like take cover, and you can like recheck after a couple of seconds. Obviously, if they start pressuring you, then you just get out. But it's pretty low risk, and you'll have a lot more information of which direction they're going.
Taking maybe.
I'm watching right side. Just watch main. Just watch main. I'll watch right. I'll watch right.
Okay.
And call out if you need heals.
Okay, I'm gonna pull. I'm pulling. I'm pulling.
You're good.
The rise on
Pulling.
main.
Nice.
There's a big pressure.
Watch shatter. Watch shatter.
That's a big wall as well. So this should be amping heals into them. Like you just go kill these two, because everyone else is blocked out. Yeah. So like your comm should be like, oh, big wall, amping in, let's go aggressive, or like big wall, like amping, kill Ryan, something like that.
Watch shatter. Watch shatter.
Speed boost here. Speed boost here. On the right. On the right. On the right.
Okay, great. And if
Arista next. Arista next. Arista next.
Arista no golden.
Okay, yeah, she used fortify earlier, so she died. Okay, yep, that's good. And then
May has no ice block. May no ice block.
Just back out. Just back out. Back out. No need to come.
okay, so I think either way is fine. You can go on them because they're down both tanks. Backing out is also fine. Because you basically already stopped that push, so they're gonna have to full reset, and that's gonna cost them, 12% or so. So essentially, you already won. If you are confident that you can get more kills, then it's actually it's smart to keep staggering them. But it's also risky. So like I think either way is fine. Basically, you take the win. You take the 12% that you just earned by killing their two tanks. Or you can try to chase more, but there's a risk that they dump ults on you and you die and they get back. So I guess either way is fine as long as you guys are all on the same page, and it does seem like you are. And I guess your McCree is kind of playing high ground still, so yeah, if you went in, you'd be losing him. I think he like after the wall, I think he should drop down with you guys because he'll be able to reset before they do. But yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Commit. No.
Sorry.
It's one fight.
All right.
Nice.
They're backing out.
I got shadow for next push.
What do they have here? What do they have? They're gonna have.
Definitely gonna have shatter. Probably have bongo.
They're gonna have another window. They're gonna have both of their tank
definitely.
ults.
Mail.
Definitely
Mail.
Yeah, mail.
Okay. I'm
Do you
gonna.
want to counter freeze?
I'm beating the mail.
Okay.
Okay, you're planning ults. That's really good. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna pull around. I'm pulling.
We freeze first. Freeze this. They used window. On the Orisa.
This first, and then Orisa. You guys are kind of calming. Like I feel like the comms are fine, but maybe just like yell ammo or like kill ammo because that's the most important thing.
Orisa. Boosting here.
Okay, no more ults. We got it.
That's great.
Lucio half. Lucio weak.
I have high noon.
Same as before. Like, it's definitely an option to like go like push them here. It's a little bit riskier, but I don't know. Like personally, I would have said like, hey, let's speed in. Like, let's clean up. They're down 2, but again, it's kind of a judgment call. Either way is like it's fine. I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Be mindful of the shatter.
So like
Alright.
this dead time again, you could be scouting that bridge just to see which way they're going. You know, there's a little bit of risk there, especially if they have like a widow or something. But with the comp that they have, it's pretty unlikely that you can get caught. Just you know, so that's like another like it's not quite free, but it's like a low risk way to get a little bit of value and like figure out where they're going. Seems
If
like
we
they're
manage to
pushing
wall
it,
off
but-
either of the tanks, as soon as the tank
They're gonna
dies, we
probably
nude,
teleport,
okay?
blizzard in, and shatter.
Yep, just be
Got
mindful.
nothing else to do.
Okay, yeah. It looks
teleport
like they're
Either,
Like, right side, right side.
They're going
right
right side, right side. Play point.
Yep.
Alright, back up
That's
to
the right
point.
call. So, but if you guys default is holding top, then you know, that's kind of like you'd have more options, like either dropping back to point or like taking the fight here and like walling here. But because you guys are playing ground, you just can only play point, which actually it's not terrible, but just that's why top is better because you get both options.
Point, back up to
Me.
I'm frozen. I'm stuck. I'm dead.
That,
On your own.
block the
No
line.
Ryan.
Hey, Bap.
Nice, on the Rhine.
Right hand sweep.
Round.
Arista no gold.
No golden. They use B here.
Okay, so I'm not sure if that's you. I'm not sure who's calling Arisa no gold, but she's fortified, so that's not no gold. That's like she used fortify, so don't shoot her for 4 seconds. When you say Arisa no gold, that means that it's down and she's killable, but she's not yet for 4 more seconds. It like you have to like wait those 4 seconds. You can say like Arisa used fortify, and then that actually means like no one shoot her, everyone shoot someone else, and shoot her in 4 seconds from now. So.
Round. Arista no gold.
Yeah, that's not, and especially with like it like reduces damage on the beat health as well. Like this is absolutely not killable. You need to shoot something else.
Gold.
No golden. They use B here.
I'm bongling.
On the Sims look.
Okay, it sounds like it's your Arisa that's calling that. But yeah. So I mean, good job listening to the call out and shooting the target that was called. But if you notice that as well, you can say no, she's fortified. Like shoot, you know, whatever target. So you can make counter calls as well.
Charge. Get her while she's still low.
You're down your back.
Get on the Symmetra.
So you'd be a little bit more like harder to hit, I guess. If you're on the walls, you can kind of ride back and forth. You can also do things like try to boop the Symmetra into a corner, because that way she has like it's harder for her to like AT strafe. But yeah, I think this is fine.
What's it one?
Yeah.
Got her.
Alright.
Focus him on
She
Lucio.
used ult.
Nice.
Alright, that's what I'm talking about.
Nice. Yeah, so basically they had like 6 ults forever, and they kept getting stuck at this choke. So that's why they lost. And what they could have done to stop it is just put a Mei wall like vertically this way, and then your Mei can only wall half of it. Or they can amp speed, or they could have gotten top earlier. Or they can take the long path and like come up on this bridge and come through that doorway I was telling you to scout through. But they just kept doing the same thing, being predictable, and you know, kind of gave you guys the point.
About.
They also had a sim, so they could have from choke TP'd to the high ground up a point. So yeah, it's just that's why it's so important to keep the options, like be aware of what the options are, because then you don't lose like points for free like that, like they did.
All right, do we still run Arisa Rhine here?
Let's switch to Arisa Hog.
Arisa Hog. Okay.
Want to make any switches?
So we're gonna swap Drum on the Hog and Subi onto the
Right, I really like that you're talking about comps here.
Arisa.
I think Arisa's Ryan is still okay.
He swaps the DPS.
I do really like Hog on this map because of the pits, but
Swaps the healers.
healers. We're gonna stay this.
You know, Arisa's barrier is like really paper thin now. It's only 600 HP, so it's much harder to kind of run Arisa's solo shield now. It's really helpful for her to have a Sigma or a Rhine. But you know, Hog can get a lot of value here, so like it's kind of they're just trade-offs. It's not that one's necessarily always better.
Same. No, let's stick with this.
Okay.
Okay, so the comp that you have now, unlike the previous two comps, this is now more of a poke comp because you have the Hog and you have the McCree. You mainly want to kind of place like far away from them and shoot and like break shields and then kill them. You don't want to like hard engage as much. So hopefully, let's see how you guys play this.
So we're gonna go far right side, like down to horseshoe, right?
I really like that you're calling out like where to go, or someone is. That's really good.
Alright, just down the point.
Although I thought, I guess I'm not really sure where horseshoe is or what that means, but I assumed it meant the underground part. I thought you guys were gonna go there and drop, but this is fine as long as you guys are also together doing the same thing.
Just down
Honda, they have a Honda.
Here.
Pulling high.
You have amp, so basically, like if you guys are a spam comp, and rolling out right here is actually not the best way because of this hard corner where they can shoot into you. You don't really have space to move around. You have like, unless you're here, you can't shoot them coming this way. If you had went left, then you have like all of the high ground and all of the space from here to the corner, like the far corner where the mini is, to like spread out and shoot them from. So I guess if you're playing for spam, you need to go left. Now that you guys rolled out right, I think you guys kind of do have to like W into them a bit more. And so that would be like a speed amp run in, and probably like Ursa drops shield. May looks for a wall. Hopefully you wall something and you speed on that. Otherwise you just like maybe like pull and then speed onto the pull target. But the May wall definitely has to be used at some point here. Or I guess a third option is like you come around here, Ursa puts shield down. You all speed in, or like you speed forward, and then like if Ursa's shield breaks really fast or something, then you can May wall defensively on the point in front of their whole team to be able to take that space, and then drop the wall, and then you're like right in their face. So I guess either of those could work, or any of those could work. But you guys can't really stand here because you only have Ursa's shield and it's already broken, because it only has 600 HP. So that's what like Houses does 120, Sigma does 110, Junkrat does 130 per grenade, and then like these guys and Lucio also do more damage. So that's like maybe a second or two of shield if they're all shooting it.
The pull up, the pulls up. Watch the wall.
So you still have amp here.
Okay, I'm ready to pull in.
Okay, so you come out and then you amp heals. If you're gonna heal, don't be in danger here. Just be behind the corner and amp heals for the team. And then make a plan. Like talk about what you guys are gonna do, and then do that. Like you don't really have a plan right now.
2, Ursa. Throw it out. Just throw it out. Throw it out, and I'm gonna peek it.
Yeah. We lost.
If McCree's gonna flank, you should say
That May, is it still fightable?
Got hooked. Got broken.
Sigma high. It's not gonna work pulling up high. We're just going to Sigma counter.
So I guess you guys are down the May. I didn't notice it. Yeah, okay. So she got caught. She just got caught by spam, I guess.
Watch the wall.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, that's unlucky. Again, this is why you guys can't like sit and try to spam here, because Ursa, like, she doesn't really have a shield anymore. Like it's just like it does something, but it doesn't do a whole lot. So like playing left side would be better, or you guys just need to use your amp speed and like make an engage.
Okay, I'm ready to pull in 2, Ursa. Throw it out. Just throw it out. Throw it out, and I'm gonna.
When the call, I think someone had the right idea that okay, we're down May, we should push, but the call needs to be back up, not just like we shouldn't push without May. Needs to be more directed, like more of a directed action.
Peek it.
Yeah. We lost the May, is it still fightable?
Got hooked. Got broken.
Sigma high. It's not gonna work pulling up high. We're just going to Sigma counter.
Pull to the right of him. Pull to the right.
We can pull around. We have to go around.
Okay, so you guys are starting to make a plan here. I'm not sure if it's you saying you have to go around. I think that's a fine plan as long as you guys all do it. Again, you have to give the team a couple seconds to kind of register what you're saying, and then you should use this amp and amp them around the corner to get behind them. Or dropping and amping in is also fine. Like just as long as everyone has the plan and understands it, and then you do it.
Time to get to that junk rat.
Nice. We got the Junkrat.
We got the junk. Okay.
Okay, so this is I guess your May hasn't come back yet, but like still like this engagement, like amping speed is absolutely critical for engagements. So this is a trigger. Okay, you guys can engage now, and you need to make that happen with the speed.
Watch the trap.
Hanzo weak. Hanzo weak.
He's weak. He's weak.
Okay, so there's some merit in holding amp until you get to the corner here, because that's bit of space. Like there's no threat, right? Because they're not really shooting you because you're behind the wall. But like as soon as you get here, absolutely amp. So either amp back there or amp here.
He's weak.
You need to amp.
Pulling around.
Where is he? Orisa no golden on point.
Orisa half.
I don't hate this, like high threat target, and like you're in his face. It's very hard for him to hit the shot, but this needs to be used with your team first, and then you can be up higher, like you can be riding on the wall here. It'll be even harder for them to shoot you, and on this point particularly, like it can be pretty impactful for you to like look for boops. I know that they're all like backed into this corner now. But if you're riding on the wall here and you look down at the wrist and you boop, she still gets forward momentum. Even if you're looking straight down at the ground, she'll still get like forward momentum out, and then you guys are gonna have to kill this MO first. But she would get like booped out and be like easier to kill here. And then if they're playing on point, you should absolutely be looking for boops off the edge as well. But make sure you use amp.
Kill the lamp.
Lamp first. Nice.
Good target.
We're still weak. She's weak.
A little unlucky there. Yeah, I guess you guys just kind of lined up for him, unfortunately. You did kind of lose track of him, so you like went on him. So you made it very clear to him that like he should be trying to kill you. But then like you turned on the lamp and you stood in the middle of the doorway. It would have been much safer if you were on the wall, or at least like just standing here instead of in the doorway. So it doesn't cost you anything to move a couple of feet.
Orisa half.
Be out of line of sight of the doorway.
Kill the lamp.
So he went right, but you're standing here in the open, right? Like if you were standing right here, you can still shoot the lamp. I think it's behind this explosion actually. If you're standing right here, you can still shoot the lamp, and he wouldn't have the line of sight on you.
Kill the lamp.
Right, so you're right in front of the doorway.
First. Nice.
Like the door is right here. You're still right in front of it.
We're still weak. She's one.
Nice. On the side.
Six.
We got Junkrat behind
Lucio.
Junkrat's more important than Lucio. Lucio can.
It's just Junkrat and Lucio on point. It's just them.
No, regroup.
Yeah, okay. We're resetting it.
Unlucky.
Amplification matrix ready.
Boosting now.
Again, so this space is not important. I mean, like this amp, like crossing this space with the amp, you save like 2 or 3 seconds, but it's gonna be much more important when you're trying to make the engagement to use amp.
I got left behind, dear. It's fine.
Oh.
And yeah, again, just hit tab, make sure everyone's spawned, and make sure you're looking behind you.
Sorry.
Hey, okay.
But like you say sorry, but you don't have amp, but you can still help him catch up to the team. By being with them, if they're walking forward, you're moving them faster, even faster, further away from him. Because everyone's walking speed is basically the same except for Tracer and Genji, who is slightly faster. So if you're on speed and walking with them, you're still creating more of a gap between you and the hog. If you go back to the hog, and even if you don't have amp, it's still like I think it's like a 10 or 15% boost or something like that. You're still helping him catch up. So that's something that's still worth doing.
Okay, fine.
I'm
Just go.
good. I was watching left door.
Yep.
And again, like while walking up, you should be making a plan of like where to go. So McCree went left. You guys are walking right. I think either is fine. Again, if your plan is to spam them, you should be going left, so you have more open sight lines. Um, if McCree wants to like flank left by himself, he should call that out. But you need to make a plan, and because you're Lucio, you have the amp speed. It generally is kind of on you to like make that pathing plan.
All right, we pull all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, through here.
Okay, I like that call. Yeah, that's really good. You can be a little bit more specific. You say something like walk through Mega to get behind them or something like that. But I think that's like what you said is like fine as well.
Through here, there. With me.
Help! Watch our ink.
Okay. And I guess your team really needs to like there's no poking at this stage. Like the shots that Amaya is taking, like she's not gonna get anything out of them. Oh, I guess she's really close to Blizzard, so like in this very specific situation is fine. But like between engages when you guys are making rotations, like it's very important for the focus not to be on like randomly shooting stuff or like trying to get poke damage. You guys should just focus on making clean rotations and like getting those fights faster. But in this very specific situation,
I'm good.
You're gonna go here.
Okay.
Carry. I'm ready to pull over. I'm ready to pull.
Watch the Hanzo. The Hanzo's on the far side.
Joker tower.
You have amp. Like this is a bad distance for you. If he were like peeking this door right here, like if he were over here, I think that's fine for you to like come around here and actually for you to amp your whole team in and kill him. But just because you see him jump back here, this is still like this is a fight he wins unless you're like in this doorway already, which you're not. So this is really risky, and it's like pretty unlikely to get value. So it's like high risk, low reward.
Joker tower.
I'll use tires.
Tire. It's lamp.
And this needs to be used on your team.
Gone.
Yeah, lamp's here. Hanzo half.
I'm gonna pull as soon as I get around the corner.
Hanzo's half in horseshoe.
There we go.
Boosting this.
That's good.
I'll pull. Are you ready to pull?
On the Arista shield, on the Arista.
So here, now that amp is gone and your team is kind of in position, you can make the wall ride on the top, and their shield's not flush with the doorway, so you can be above them and boop them out onto point. The two tanks that are like right at the entrance of the tunnels.
I've already used it 3 seconds.
Oh, nice. We got free.
You almost did it, but just wall ride. Like you can hop from that side of the doorway to this and get some air or get some vertical distance, and then you can be on the wall above them.
You pull them out. Get the Hanzo.
You're still tunnel visioning on the Hanzo. I'm not really sure why. Like he kind of got away from you over there, but like that was never a fight that you really would have been able to kill him in. And there's like 2 people in the tunnel behind you that are like, much higher risk than this Hanzo who has to shoot through the shield first.
Hanzo, he's forced out.
Lamp.
Yeah, okay. So your team's attention is also kind of split. Like half of the people are looking at Hanzo, half the people are looking in here. So I don't know. Like someone needs to make a target call, and the target should probably be this, not Hanzo. But like you just all need to be focusing something.
Oh, good freeze on the junk. The junk's one.
Arista one.
Oh, I got booped.
This junk rat is in my face every.
I don't know. There's probably moments in here where you can be on speed. For example, to help the team get in on the 3 that were trapped down here, stuff like that. I think defaulting to heal here is fine because you're kind of brawling, and people are going to take chip damage and they're going to need heals. So it's not bad, but like if you can try to like have a little bit more awareness, and it is something you have to put effort into. It's not something that just comes for free. Like you're not just going to notice that your team is full health. You have to be actively looking for it until it becomes kind of a habit, and then it's second nature. But if you can be paying attention to health bars a little bit more, focus a little bit less on your aim, and just like still left click, but just like throw it in the general direction of enemies rather than trying to aim at them, you'll have more bandwidth to like pay attention to health bars and like be able to recognize that, okay, I can swap speed now and I can make these plays rather than just defaulting to heal the whole time. which it's not terrible, but it could be better, basically.
I'm beating this.
Sigma's frozen. Sigma's frozen.
I'm down.
Pulling mid.
We have to get the lamp first. Lamp down.
Swapping the ball to come back fast.
On the Lucio.
I'm up.
So this is just kind
I'm not
of
gonna make it.
big brawl, like.
I'm gonna touch.
Six tap. They.
I got it. Oh, I didn't get any.
All right, they're gonna have beat here. They're gonna be.
I'm gonna touch here. I'm touching.
We gotta touch. We gotta touch.
Okay.
I'm still stalling. I'm stalling here.
Nice. Speeding Subi back.
Touching. Oh no! Come on.
Dear, in that situation, you just need to go to point. Don't worry about taxing people.
Okay.
I mean, he's right, but like you just spawned. Like there was no point at which like you went backward to taxi someone. So
I wasn't taxi.
Anyway, that's fine. But yeah, so like, big things are, you know, using like being more proactive about like looking for signals that you need to be healing or speeding. Using amp like at better times and like more often. Like there's a lot of times where you just don't use it, and then there's a few times, especially speeding out of spawn, after like not the very initial rollout, but like after that, where it could be used in a better way. I think those two things are like the main ones, and then there's sometimes where you guys are focusing the wrong targets or not communicating ults or things like that. But if you guys are all gold, like I think your comms are really great. Honestly, it does seem like you guys are a more like a team rather than just random people playing together. So that's really good. But just kind of work on the individual Lucio mechanics and ability usage. So. It was honestly a pretty close game. Like I think if you had cleaned up a few things, it was definitely winnable.